In a surprising turn of events, the Chiefs are reportedly working on a long-term deal for one of their top free agents. Plus, a couple of key pass catchers could be back in the mix. And that's just the beginning. There were plenty of takeaways from today's press conferences with Andy Reid and Brett Veach at the NFL Combine. Let's break it all down, but first, how about those Chiefs? For the first time this offseason, we heard from both Andy Reid and GM Brett Veach at the NFL Combine, and they had plenty to say. This is our first update from Big Red since the Super Bowl, and it's also Veach's first media availability this year. When discussing the Super Bowl loss, Reid admitted, "It was a bad day to have a bad day." He took accountability, saying both the coaching and execution were off. He also praised the Eagles, acknowledging that no team has won 3 Super Bowls in a row for a reason, calling it a tremendous challenge. One of the biggest questions heading into the offseason was about Chris Jones' knee injury from the Super Bowl. Reid gave a simple but reassuring update: Jones is doing good. No mention of surgery or major concerns, meaning he should be ready for OTAs and training camp. Given his significant cap hit and importance to the defense, that's a relief for Chiefs Kingdom. Veach made it clear, the Chiefs are lucky to have Patrick Mahomes, but they need to continue surrounding him with the right talent, especially with how late they draft and their cap space challenges. The trenches have been a priority since the Super Bowl 55 loss, and Veach emphasized that once again. One key confirmation: Joe Thuney is moving back to left guard. That's great news, considering the struggles at left tackle last season. Veach also highlighted the team's past investments in the O-line, including Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, proving they will always prioritize protecting Mahomes. Veach addressed concerns about Mahomes' average depth of target decreasing each year. He pointed to several factors, including the loss of Tyreek Hill, Mahomes' advanced ability to read defenses, sometimes even overanalyzing plays, and inconsistent O-line protection. Last season, Mahomes was hit 77 times, a league high, and sacked a career-high 36 times. The quick passing game became a necessity, not just a strategy. To fix this, improving protection is key, and adding a more threatening run game would help. Veach noted that this is a deep draft for running backs, hinting that the Chiefs could find an instant contributor even in the mid to late rounds. Remember, they got Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th round. A big revelation: the Chiefs are prioritizing a long-term deal for Trey Smith. The Athletic's Diana Rossini reported they are making every effort to lock him up. Veach confirmed that contract talks have already started and expressed optimism about getting a deal done. If Smith stays, the Chiefs' interior O-line remains elite, though it raises questions about Kingsley Suamataya's role moving forward. Aside from investing in the trenches, Veach made it clear that they will continue adding weapons for Mahomes. The Chiefs have 2 promising young receivers in Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. Worthy shined in the second half of the season, while Rice was on pace for a monster year before his injury. Veach even suggested Rice was tracking to be a top 10 receiver before he went down. And then there's Hollywood Brown. Veach said, "We'll see if we can get Hollywood Brown back," confirming they're at least interested in re-signing him. If they can bring him back, Kansas City would have a dangerous trio in Rice, Worthy, and Brown, allowing Travis Kelce to play a more complementary role at age 36. Speaking of Kelce, Veach said they are proceeding as if he'll play in 2025. Reid had a great conversation with him at the end of the season, and Kelce is reportedly still fired up to play. There's no deadline for his decision, but right now, it looks like he'll return for another season. Veach also emphasized the depth of this draft class, especially at cornerback, linebacker, and defensive line. This is crucial because the Chiefs have several defensive players hitting free agency, including Turk Wharton, Derek Nady, and Charles Omenihu. Nick Bolton's contract situation is another key storyline to watch, and while Trent McDuffie is a long-term piece, KC might need more secondary help. Veach has had great success drafting defensive talent in the middle rounds, so expect more of that this year. A lot is happening behind the scenes for the Chiefs. They're prioritizing the trenches, working to re-sign key players like Trey Smith, and keeping an eye on wide receiver depth. The draft will be crucial in addressing defensive needs, and we could see more surprises in free agency. What are your biggest takeaways from today's press conferences? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And as always, let's go, let's freaking go. How about those Chiefs?